Join Venus Castleberg as she teleports you to the wonderland of possibilities, where we explore consciousness from the inside out to create a different world, where problems are possibilities and your point of view really does create your reality.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wonderland of Possibilities, where anything is possible and magic is real.
Hello.
And I'm so happy today to have Matt Sepper with me. Matt lives in Estonia and is going to ask some questions and translate in Estonian. But I have a feeling like we're going to have a lot of fun exploring the questions that he has today. So thank you.
Siis Wonderland imede võimalikkusesse ja mina olen siis Märt Sepper ja tema on siis Venus Castleberg ja me oleme siis täna tulnud siia, et arutleda Venuse raamatu kohta. Hello, Venus.
Hi, thanks for being here.
Yeah, siia. Yeah, so I'll start right away. I wanted to ask you about your book.
Oh.
And alustan siis kohe ja sooviksin küsida lähemalt siis sinu raamatu kohta. And the thing that I wanted to ask of you is, well, let's start from the beginning. Who are you and where do you come from and what do you do? Alustame algusest, et kes sa oled, millega sa tegeled ja kus sa oled tulnud?
Well, my name is Venus. I was born and raised in the United States, but I would say that I'm a world traveler. So I love traveling. I love being around the world.
Mu nimi on Venus, ma olen siis USA-st, aga tunnen, et ma olen siis maailmarändur.
And I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator.
Olen siis Access Consciousnessi sertifitseeritud vahendaja.
And I don't know, I like to laugh. I like to have fun.
Ma ei tea, mulle meeldib naerda ja mulle meeldib, et on lihtsalt lõbus olla.
What else would you like to know?
Mida ma siis veel sooviksin teada? Well, then I would just like to know, where did you get inspiration to write your book in really this kind of openness, vulnerability, et kus sa siis said, sooviksin lähemalt rohkem teada seda, et kus sa siis said inspiratsiooni, et nii avatult kirjutada see raamat, ja sa oled kirjutanud Here to Forever, was it the book's name? Ja siit igavikuni.
Yep, it's called Here to Forever, Finally Free to Be Me. And I just knew first of all, I just knew I wanted to write a book. I didn't know. Go ahead.
See on siis Siit igavikuni on raamatu nimi ja kõigepealt ma teadsin üldiselt, et ma lihtsalt tahan raamatut kirjutada.
What I didn't know was the first book I was going to publish was going to be a story about my life.
Aga ma ei teadnud, et esimene raamat, mida ma avaldan, on minu eluloo raamat.
But I just promised myself that I was going to write every day and write a book.
Aga ma lubasin endale, et ma kirjutan iga päev ja kirjutangi raamatu.
And it took me about 6 weeks to write it.
Et mul läks kuskil 6 nädalat kirjutamiseks.
And it took me about 6 years to get it published.
Ja läks 6 aastat aega, et avaldada see raamat.
I had a few editors that told me I needed to rewrite it.
Paar toimetajat, kes ütlesid mulle, et ma peaksin selle ümber kirjutama.
And so I was about to throw it out, thinking maybe I didn't know how to write a book, and I sent it to a friend of mine who's also a writer. And I said, would you just tell me if there's anything here? Can I turn it into something else?
Ma arvasin, et ma pean selle raamatu täitsa ära viskama, aga et siis ma saatsin sõbrale. Küsisin, et kas siin on ikkagi midagi ja kas ma peaksin midagi muutma.
And she called me a few days later and said, I don't really read books anymore. I don't have time.
siis ta helistas mulle hiljem, ütles, et ma ei loe enam raamatuid, et mul ei ole enam nii palju aega.
But I couldn't put yours down and I wouldn't change a thing.
Aga ma ei saanud sinu oma maha panna ja ma ei muudaks mitte midagi siin.
So I just got it published.
Ja niimoodi ma siis avaldasingi selle raamatu.
And it went #1 bestseller, new release bestseller.
Ja see läks siis number 1 bestselleriks müüdavuse koha pealt. Okay. So I'll just get to some other questions, which for me are really like I went into your book like for 2 days. I just embraced it and went in. et ma alustaks siis kohe küsimustega, mis on mulle isiklikult väga teemakohased, seepärast ma võtsin 2 päevaks lihtsalt süvenesin ja avasin ennast selle raamatu jaoks. And first question is, well, I really wanted to know how you would describe how your relationships have changed your business values or the way you do business, and the business, how it affects your relationships and all these things. Because in your book, I felt that they're all like kind of moving together like this one molecular structure, et ma sooviksingi lähemalt siis teada, et ta kirjeldaks siis ja seletaks lähemalt, kuidas tema suhted on mõjutanud ta äri ja elu üldiselt ja kuidas siis äri ja suhted on ka mõjutanud tema elu üldiselt, sest seda kogesin lugedes kui ühtset molekulaarset struktuuri, liikuvat vormi.
Thank you for the question. Yeah. So one of the biggest tools that I've used to change my relationships and my businesses has been to stop judging them.
Kõige tähtsam siis tööriist, et kuidas nende äri ja suhetega koos loomet teha, on see, et lõpetada endale hinnangut anda.
And I'm just like everybody else. I was taught that the way that you were in relationship was to judge your partner and make them wrong. Try to control what they do.
Ma ei nagu kõik teised, et arvasin, et suhtes olemiseks sa pead andma hinnanguid oma partnerile ja tegema teda valeks ja üritama kontrollida.
And I realized that that didn't work.
Siis ma sain aru, et see ei tööta.
But it's the same with business. Like your business is money is a relationship. I don't want to use your relationship, but you're in co-creation with your business, your money.
Ja, et samamoodi on, et sa oled ka koos loomes oma äri ja oma rahaga.
And when you're in co-creation with something, judgment kills it.
Ja kui sa oled millegagi koos loomes, siis hinnangute andmine tapab seda.
It's kind of like your best friend. Like when your best friend, you judge your best friend, does your best friend want to hang out with you?
Ja kui sa annad oma parimale sõbrale hinnanguid, kas su parim sõber tahab siis sinuga enam ringi hängida.
So if you're judging your business or your money or your relationships, they're not going to want to hang out with you either.
Kui sa annad hinnanguid oma rahale, oma ärile, oma suhetele, siis need ei taha jääda su ellu.
And there's this, what I would call an incredible tool that I learned through Access Consciousness, which is allowance.
Ja siis see on üks imeline tööriist, mida ma Access Consciousnessi kaudu õppisin, on lubamine, olla lubamises.
And it's that everything is just an interesting point of view.
See tähendabki, et kõik on lihtsalt huvitav vaatepunkt.
So if I don't have judgment about something, then I'm not killing it.
Kui mul ei ole hinnangut millegi suhtes, siis ma ei tapa seda. Nii lihtne on. Okay, then I will go to a few next questions to open more about this. Et ma läheksin siis järgmiste küsimuste juurde, mis saaks veel rohkem lähemalt seda. Your book had some fractures about entities, like this invisible friend that you had. Et su raamat oli siis natuke juttu ka olemitest, ehk siis üks nähtamatu sõber, kes sul seal oli. Et can you tell me maybe a little bit more about entity and your invisible friend? What happened? et räägiks lähemalt olevate ja nähtavate sõbra kohta, et mis juhtus ja kuidas see raamatus on.
Sure. Yeah, after I wrote the book, I really realized that there probably was another book because there was a lot of things in my life that weren't part of this book.
Pärast raamatu kirjutasin, siis ma saan aru, et vaja vist üks raamat veel kirjutada, et seal on veel teemasid, mis siia raamatusse ei mahtunud.
But the book that we're talking about today was really about me learning to love myself.
Aga raamat, millest kirjutasin, on, millest me täna räägime, on siis eriti kirjutatud just sel teemal, et kus ma õppisin iseennast armastama.
And my journey to that.
Ja minu teekonnast.
But I do allude to a few things in there.
Aga mul on seal natukene vihjeid nendele teemadele.
When I was 30, I became a clairvoyant medium pretty much overnight.
Ja kui ma olin 30, siis ma muutusin see teadlikuks meediumiks põhiliselt üleöö.
Which means I can see dead people.
Mis tähendab seda, et ma näen surnud inimesi.
And other beings that don't have bodies.
Ja teisi olendeid, kellel ei ole kehasid.
I'll be honest, when I was given this gift, I didn't want it.
Ja põhiliselt, kui mulle anti see kingitus, siis ma ei tundnud, et ma seda oleksin tahtnud väga.
But after 3 years of resisting it and making it wrong, I decided to just have allowance for it.
Ja 3 aastat peale seda, kui ma tegin selle kogu aeg valeks ja võitlesin selle vastu, siis ma mõtlesin, et ma lähen lõpuks lubamisse.
And inside the allowance was the gratitude for whatever reason I was given this gift.
Ja selle lubamisega kaasnes siis ka tänulikkus, et mis iganes oli see põhjus, miks mulle see kingitus anti.
So I didn't really know what to do with it at first. I was just kind of hashing it out.
Ma alguses ei teadnudki, mis selle kingituse peale hakata, et ma lihtsalt kuidagi jändasin sellega.
Some people can hear entities, some people can feel entities, and at first I could see them.
Mõned inimesed näevad olemid, mõned inimesed kuulevad olemid, aga minul tuli esmasena nägemine.
But I had an experience in a graveyard where I was standing there having a picnic with a friend of mine, and a woman walked by crying, and I heard it outside of my head.
Aga mul oli siis kogemus, kus ma olin surnuaia juures sõbrannaga piknikul ja üks naine kõndis mööda ja nuttis, ma kogesin seda enda peas.
But there was nobody there.
Aga kedagi ei olnud seal.
And it freaked me out. So I'm pretty sure in that moment I was like, no.
Ja ma olin kindel, et selle momentil ma nagu, et ei, aitab.
Which might have made it a little difficult for my team. We all have a spiritual team that is here to support us.
Mis võis seda teha minu tiimi jaoks väga keeruliseks olukorraks, sellepärast, meil tegelikult on kõigil siin oma tiim, olendid.
Because for the longest time I couldn't hear them, so they would have to play like a game of charades. Do you know what that is?
Was it the game of words?
No, where you have to act out in pictures?
Ja.
You have to guess.
Pikka aega oma tiimikaaslasega suhelnud, siis nad suhtlesid minuga nagu charade'i mängus, see on siis, kus piltidena näitad ja pead sõnad ära arvama.
So they would show me pictures and I'd have to guess what those pictures meant.
Ja oligi, et näitasid pilte ja siis mina pean ära arvama, et mis need on.
And then over time, it became easier to understand them, to know what they were communicating.
Ja ajapikku ma siis sain teadlikumaks sellest, kuidas nendega suhelda ja see muutus lihtsamaks minu jaoks.
And one of the thing that you were attracted to was my imaginary friend when I was little.
Eks suunas meil väga ligi tõmmatud oli siis minu nähtamatu sõber.
And I later learned that wasn't an imaginary friend.
Välja sain aru, et see ei olnudki välja mõeldud sõber.
That was actually a fairy.
Et see oli siis üks väike haldjas.
But some fairies have shape-shifting abilities.
Aga mõnedel haldjatel on siis ka kuju muutuvad omadused.
So when I was little, I had a friend imaginary, well, friend, I'm just gonna call a friend now. That was a baby dragon, like a little dragon.
nii kui me väike, siis ta oligi selline, noh, nüüd ma ütlengi ta kohta sõber, siis selline pisikene väike draaka.
And it used to spin around on my finger.
Ja siis see keris ennast ümber minu sõrme tihtilugu. I love how the bodies go like
Yep. And then later, one of my spiritual team is a fairy.
Ja hiljem ma sain aru, et üks osa minu spirituaalsest tiimist ongi haldja.
And she told me that she was the baby dragon when I was little, because my brain could wrap around it, I guess.
Ja siis ütles, et kui ma olin väike, siis ta manas ennast selleks väikseks draakoniks, et lapsena on seda kergem vastu võtta. That's amazing. Okay, let me check out. I had some few questions. Las ma uurin veel, et mul on veel küsimusi. Your book was like, I gotta say, it's amazing with 90 pages, 93 pages.
Uh-huh.
It really opened up like everything from entities to awarenesses to self-loving to relationships to sexual anything. et ma imestan seda, et 93 leheküljega see raamat suutis avada absoluutselt igasugu teemasid olemitest kuni suheteni, suhetest ärini, ärist seksuaalsuseni, kõike. Your book has a lot of word love in it and a lot about searching for love and true love and one love and all that true romantic stuff, you know. See raamatus on väga palju sõna armastus ja armastusega seotud teemasid, õige armastus ja ainus ja üks armastus ja see õige ja nii edasi ja nii edasi, et yeah. What advice would you give to those hopeless romantics? Because I am a hopeless romantic, I gotta say. Mis teemas oleksid lootused romantikud, et ma ise olen ka lootusetu romantik.
I was too. And I just realized that everything that I was trying to find outside of myself was actually here.
Ja, et mina olen küll lootusetu romantik, et kõike, mida ma arvasin, ma pean väljast leidma, ma ikka saan aru, et sa leiad iseenda seest.
And that nobody, I mean, I've been around the block, let's put it that way. If you read my book, you'll know all my secrets.
I know. ma olen palju kogenud, kui sa mu raamatut loed, sa saad päriselt aimu kõigist nende saladustest. Jah, ma sain lugedes aru sellest.
I guess at this point I can't really call them secrets because they're kind of all out there.
Nüüd ma ei saa neid saladusteks kutsuda, et see on kõik avalikule maailmale teada.
But I did a lot of relationships trying to find the one, and a lot of not relationships still trying to find the one, thinking that somehow I was incomplete without a man in my life.
Tegin väga palju suhteid, sest ma arvasin, et muidu ma ei ole täielik ilma meheta. Et tegin suhteid otsides ühte kindlat suhet ja otsides üldiselt.
And then when I discovered Access Consciousness, there's this tool called the 5 Elements of Intimacy.
Ja siis, kui ma avastasin Access Consciousness, siis Accessil on selline tööriist, mille nimetus on 5 intiimsuselementi.
Mm-hmm. And I was even in an abusive relationship at the time.
Ja ma olin sellel ajal väga ahistavas suhtes.
And I was like, I've got to change this.
Ja siis ma sain aru, et ma pean muutma seda.
So I took on the 5 Elements of Intimacy with myself.
Ja ma võtsingi iseenda peal et avada seda 5 intiimsuselementi.
And somewhere in there, I just fell in love with myself.
Ja kusagil seal siis ma armusin iseendasse. I love it. Ma nii arvastan seda. I really wanted to tell you this because as you saw when I read your book, I wrote to you that it's amazing. This is the same and this is the same and this is the same and this is the same. Even One Republic is the same. I was like, what? et kui ma lugesin seda raamatust, ma saatsin seda sama kirju ka, et mõtlesingi, et issand, kui äge, et see on nii sarnane, et minul on seda samamoodi olnud see ja samamoodi olnud see, et isegi One Republic mingi seda laul või bänd oli samasugune. It's you know, I just wanted to add this here that your book. I wanted to acknowledge that your book really changed. These two days that I read it, it really changed a lot. Because 6 months ago I said to myself that I'm gonna stop being in abusive relationships and stop being abusive with myself and start these 5 elements of intimacy to really start loving myself. And we are here now. And you are here now. And I'm here now. et ma alustasin 6 kuud tagasi ka, lubasin endale, et ma lõpetan ahistavates suhetes olemise ära ja leida see intiimsus iseendaga ja nii edasi.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for reading.
Amen. It's really something. Aitäh sulle lugemise eest, et see on tõesti midagi täiesti teistsugust. If you would open a little bit more about 5 elements of intimacy.
Absolutely.
rohkem 5 intiimsuse elemendi kohta.
So the 5 elements of intimacy are in Access Consciousness are honor, trust, gratitude, allowance, and vulnerability.
Et Access Consciousnessi järgi siis 5 intiimsuse elementi on siis lubamine, haavatavus, tänulikkus, usaldus ja austus.
And I started with like the one that I knew, which was gratitude.
Ma alustasin siis sellega, mida ma teadsin, mis on siis tänulikkus.
And I spent months like you just diving in one at a time.
Ja ma olingi samamoodi kuid ja süvenesingi igasse ühte individuaalselt.
Looking at each one from that energy with myself.
Ja süvenesingi igasse elementi niimoodi, kuidas see oli seotud minu enese energiaga.
And things, the gratitude, you're grateful for you.
Et tänulikkusega sa oledki tänulik iseendale.
Allowance, you have allowance for yourself.
Lubamisega oledki sa lubamises enesega.
Vulnerability is the willingness to be seen as you are.
Haavatavusega sa lubadki teistel näha ennast niimoodi, nagu sa tegelikult oled.
Probably struggled with that one the most.
Ja ma jändasin sellega kõige rohkem. Sellega oli kõige rohkem probleem.
Because I always had to show up as perfect and like I had it all together.
Ma pidin alati perfektne olema ja kõik oleks ikka ilusasti hästi minuga. I have the same thing. On täpselt sama asi.
There are no accidents, let's put it that way.
Ei ole õnnetusi.
And when I actually got to honor,
Siis kui ma jõudsin austuse juurde,
one of the things I realized was I was thinking that honoring somebody meant you had to put up with whatever they were dishing out.
siis ma arvasin, et austada teist tähendabki see, et sa pead kannatama kõike seda jama, mida nad korraldavad.
So my honoring of the relationship I was in was honoring him as an abusive man.
Ja kui ma olingi suhtes selle mehega, kellega ma koos olin, siis ma arvasin, et ma pean ka austama seda, et ta ahistab minu.
But then I started asking, what is honoring me?
Ja siis ma hakkasin küsima, et mis tähendab austada ennast.
And I realized that honoring somebody else's choices and not judging them.
Siis ma sain aru, et austada teise inimese valikuid ja mitte anda talle hinnanguid.
And honoring myself.
Ja austada ennast.
Was letting us both choose what was best for ourselves.
Oli lubada meil mõlemal valida seda, mida meil mõlemad.
But I didn't need to stay there to put up with the abuse.
Aga ma ei pea kannatama seda ahistamist.
And I'm still a work in progress. Do not have the 5 elements handled by any means. I think it's ongoing, but I definitely was able to leave that relationship as an honoring of him and of me, like going, he can choose what he needs to choose, and I need to choose what's best for me.
Man. It matches so much, et ta teadis, et ta pidi need valikud tegema ja siis ta sai minna edasi. Ja see kattub minuga nii palju. Really, as we talk, I can really like sense like it's like opening up everything in another different space. Et ma tajun, kuidas see avab praegu väga palju täitsa teise koha pealt selle intiimsuselemendiga seotud. What else would you tell to people who have been in abusive relationships and they want to start opening these elements and start their healing journey? What recommendations would you give them? Et inimestele, kes on olnud ahistavates suhetes, et missugust nõu sa annaksid siis neil inimestele, et alustada oma tervenemisteekonda?
Well, you could read the book.
Sa võiksid seda raamatut lugeda.
But actually, there's a course in the Access Consciousness shop for the 5 elements of intimacy.
Ja tegelikult on siis üks kursus Access Consciousnessi internetipoes, mis on siis 5 intiimsuselementi.
And what I've learned is if you don't really have 5 elements of intimacy with you, you can't have it with anybody else.
Ja mida ma olen õppinud ongi see, et kui sul ei ole neid 5 intiimsuselementi enesega, siis sul ei saa olla neid teistega.
You have to be first in your life.
Sa pead olema esimene enda elus.
You'll never be first in anyone else's life.
Sa ei ole mitte kunagi esimene kellegi teise elus.
You have to be first in yours.
Sa pead alati olema esimene enda elus. Yeah. Next question. How would you put the abuse and the money part together? Because for me, a lot of this this honoring of myself and being vulnerable, it has a lot to do with money. It's amazing how much it has to do with money. And et kuidas viia siis kirjeldada seda teemat, kes on seotud raha ja ahitamisega omavahel?
Great question. My favorite tool is actually gratitude.
Minu isiklik lemmiktööriist on siis tänulikkus.
If you want to grow your money, you have to be grateful for what you have.
Ja kui sa soovid kasvatada enda rahakogust või rahaga seotud suhet muuta, sa pead olema tänulik kõigele, mis sul on.
If you want to grow your relationships, you got to be grateful for what you have.
Sa tahad oma suhteid paremaks muuta, sa pead olema tänulik nendele suhetele, mis sul on.
And if you want to grow your business, you got to be grateful for what you have.
Kui sa tahad kasvatada oma äri, sa pead olema tänulik sellele ärile, mis sul on.
It's one of the easiest tricks that nobody uses.
Üks kõige lihtsamaid trikke, mida mitte keegi ei taha kasutada.
Because we're taught to judge everything.
Sest meid on õpetatud hinnanguid andma. Yeah, and it's like I can see for a lot of people, including me sometimes, although because of the access tools, I can kind of, shift and change and be with it. Judgment is really easy to come,
Yeah.
Et väga paljudel juhtudel ongi selline, et on paljude pealt näinud iseenda peal ka, aga kuna Accessi tööriistu kasutan, siis on nagu veidi kergem, aga et hinnangud on üpris kerged tulema.
There is also clearing the issues of abuse, which is another product. Produkt, mida saab osta siis Access Consciousnessi poes, mille nimi on siis kustutada ahistamise teemad või probleemid. I think it's only $35.
Ma arvan, et see on $35. There was this, when I bought it at the beginning of the year, it was $80. They did some cutting.
Okay, cool.
And it is amazing. It is, let me just plug it in. It's amazing. This call is something that's, I have seen mystical things happening.
And if you listen to it 100 times, then you can get the abuse hold. which is something that I do. So, I highly recommend getting that to unlock some of the abuse that's caught in your body.
Ja kui sa kuulad seda kuskil vähemalt 100 korda, et siis on selline protsess nagu abuse hold, mida saab kasutada. Et see on väga dünaamiline, et muuta abuse ahistamisega seotud teemasid. I'm on 60, so I'm getting close.
Might have you just in time for me to be in Estonia.
Oh man. Ma mõelda peale, et ma lähetan, et võib-olla enne seda, kui see Eestisse jõuan, et siis saab teha seda. That's a month. I got this. Ma saan hakkama sellega.
And you can listen to it at night, listen to it sometimes cognitively, but also you can also play it at night while you sleep.
And et seda saab siis öösiti kuulata kognitiivselt, et sa saad selle ööse ka kätte, aga igatpidi nagu töötab. It's amazing how it really, like most of Access books and Access calls and this, each time you listen to it, like really listen to it, it's different. It's changing in time. What's happening?
Yeah.
Erinev, et nagu ikka Accessi tööriistade ja raamatute ja nende kõnedega. Ja kui sa kuulad ja päriselt kuulad, siis on täiesti erinev.
But I think in answer to your question, a lot of people believe they don't deserve to be happy.
Ja vastuseks minu eelmise küsimusele, siis paljud inimesed usuvad, et nad väärivad õnnelikku olemist.
They don't deserve to have a lot of money. They don't deserve to have great relationships.
Nad ei vääri palju raha, nad ei vääri häid suhteid.
But I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow some of you away.
Ma ütlen teile nüüd ühe asja, mis kindlasti murrab teie paljude päid.
Deserving has nothing to do with it.
Et olla väärt ei ole mitte midagi seotud selle.
That's just a lie we tell ourselves to keep us up small.
See on lihtsalt vale, mida me räägime endale, et hoida ennast väiksematena, kui me tegelikult oleme. Well, I think I'm kind of done. No, ma arvan, et me oleme selleks korraks täitsa tehtud, et ma ei tea, või vähemalt mina olen tehtud, et kuidas sinuga lood on.
Cool. And let's just do this for fun. For those of you watching, we're going to do what's called the clearing statement. And the clearing statement is, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and learn all about it, but it's just kind of like a magic eraser. And I'd like to just, everything that we brought up and everything that we also let down, can we destroy and uncreate it?
Ja right, wrong, good, bad, 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 nice, was boys, bad. And now I'll translate it. Ja nüüd väikene osa siis kustutuslausest, mis on siis Access Consciousnessi kustutuslause, mille võid sa leida ka Access Consciousnessi kustutuslause interneti lehe pealt. Ja et kõik, mis tuli üles ja kõik, mis läks ka alla, kas sa oleksid valmis nüüd hävitama ja kustutama?
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all 9 shorts, boys, pup, bads and beyonds.
Olen ja halb, pop, kõik 9 lüüdud, poisikesed, povats ja veel.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matt. That was awesome.
Thank you. See oli väga imeline.
And thank you everyone watching and listening. We hope it was a contribution and we look forward to next time.
Ja aitäh kõigile, kes vaatasid ja kuulasid. Loodan, et see on panuseks ja näeme juba järgmise korra.
Bye.